the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely.
Step this way, ma'am.
All right, good morning. Mr. Dean.
Hello, could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Hi, I'm Melissa Bray.
And do you live in the Savannah area?
Yes.
Where do you live? Not the street address, but the general area.
Off of Highway 17, Ogeechee Road in Azalea.
I'm going to ask you, I can hear you, but I'm not sure that everybody can.
Okay.
So could you just, closer to the microphone would be good.
Is that good?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's much better, thank you. Can you repeat your answer to that last question? What general area do you live in?
Highway 17.
And you mentioned Ogeechee Road,
Yes, Ogeechee Road.
and then I think you said Azalea as well.
Azalea Trail Park.
Now, how long have you lived there for?
I have lived there for about 4, maybe going on 5 years.
And in those 4, maybe going on 5 years, have you lived in the same residence at Azalea the whole time?
Yes.
Do you, or at some point, did you know the defendant, Miss Simon?
I met her at my job,
And what job was that?
at the job that I used to have, which was Bojangles.
Was she working there as well?
Yes.
And is that how you met her?
Yes.
Roughly, how long did y'all work together at the same Bojangles?
Probably around 3 or 4 months, if that.
And do you have any nicknames that you go by?
Yep.
What nickname or nicknames do you have?
Missy.
Missy?
Missy.
Missy?
Exactly.
Anybody ever call you Misty with a T?
No.
Do you remember a time where an FBI agent came out to your house at Azalea to talk to you about when was the last time you had contact with the defendant?
Yes.
Do you remember that FBI agent's name?
Yes.
What was his or her name?
Brad Snyder.
Okay. And where did y'all meet and talk?
He came to my house.
All right. Where at your house did y'all interact?
In my parking lot, in the driveway.
Okay. I want you to go back, kind of take yourself back mentally to the day of that conversation, the first conversation you had with Brad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, how long had it been, roughly, since you had seen the defendant, Miss Simon?
How long had it been since I talked to him the first time in my driveway or at my job, Bojangles at the time?
I mean, where was the first time that you talked?
The first time I met
Brad?
him, and I think Miss Lemons was at my job,
Okay.
Bojangles.
The first time that you talked to them, and thank you for clarifying that.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that you talked to them, did they ask you how long it had been or when the last time had been that you saw the defendant?
I think so.
And at that time, about how long had it been since you had last seen her?
I'm guessing roughly around maybe a month or so. Roughly.
It had maybe been roughly a month.
Roughly, yeah.
Do you remember telling them it had been like July of 2022 that you last saw her?
Yes.
Okay. And were you telling them the truth at that time? Was that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And that was closer in time than we are now, right?
Right.
Okay. What were the circumstances of your last contact with the defendant? First of all, was the time that you were telling them about then, is that the last time you ever had contact with her? I mean, in other words, have you had any contact with her since the police began talking to you?
No.
Okay. So then that was the last time you would have any contact with her?
Yes.
All right. Now, what were the circumstances of that last contact with the defendant? Why did y'all have contact with each other?
Because she came to my house around 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning asking if we had any money, me and my husband, for gas because her vehicle stalled on that back road behind me. I can't remember the name of the road right now. And we didn't have any money, but I was going to go to my stepfather's and, not my stepfather's, my father-in-law, and ask for one of his gas cans to see if he had gas in it, and if he didn't, if we could take it up to the Inmark to put gas in it.
And right now you're describing something that occurred in like July of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened with the gas can?
We got the gas can from our property manager's yard because we had called her to ask her instead. And she said, yes, there should be one right there in the yard. Went and got it. And me, Leilani, and my husband walked up to Inmark to go get the gas.
And what happened to the gas can from that point?
Of course, when we got there, she said that someone was coming to get her, to take her back to put gas in her vehicle that was on that road. So me and my husband, we left, okay? And I told her that I needed the gas can back.
Sometime after that, did you send her some text messages asking for the gas can back?
Yes, I did.
Did you get a response to those text messages?
I did not get a response at all until actually, no, I did not get a response at all.
Okay, so let me just ask you about that. Was that, those text messages to the defendant asking to get the gas can back, did you ever have any in-person contact with her after that?
No.
Okay, and again, this all happened in like July of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to approach with what I've marked as, well, let me ask you this. Did you show those text messages to Brad, the FBI agent?
Yes, I did.
Okay, he got a look at them.
Yes, he did.
And did they support what you were saying?
Yes, they did.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach with what I've marked as State's Exhibit 35. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is that a Google Maps screenshot showing the route to get to your residence at Azalea Mobile Home Plaza?
Yes, it is.
Does it fairly represent the route that you have to take to get to your place?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, I would introduce this as State's Exhibit 35.
No objection.
Thank you, Mr. Parse. It is admitted without objection.
All right. Do you see that main road at the top there that I'm highlighting with the little arrow?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Ogeechee Road?
Ma'am, I need you to say yes or no.
Oh,
The
yes.
court reporter's taking everything down.
Okay. Yes.
And that red arrow coming off of Ogeechee Road, does that reflect the turn that you make to get into Azalea?
Yes.
Okay, and is that right next to the Chevron?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, this second arrow here, does this represent a right turn that you have to make to get to your house?
Yes, it does.
Do you live on a dead end?
Yes, I do.
Is that lower red arrow showing that right turn there, does that take you onto your dead end?
The lower red arrow? Yes.
This arrow here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's a right turn, takes you onto the dead end street that you live on, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other way to get to your house by car?
No.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Was there ever a time where she came and met up with you in the middle of the night to get Orajel from you? the
No.
defendant? No? Saying that never happened?
I'm saying it never happened.
No further questions?
Good morning, Ms. Bray.
Good morning.
I want to walk up and look at that map, if you would. As I understand it, this is Ogeechee Road.
Right.
This is I guess that's a left turn. And the second arrow goes down there. Where is your residence in this area?
I am, let's see,
Do you mind showing me up there so everybody could see?
sure. I should be probably somewhere either this or up underneath these trees.
Okay, thank you. And is that a Chevron station that you mentioned?
Yes.
And that, for the record, is that, looks like a big square to me.
Yes.
And you live in the Azalea Mobile Home Park.
Yes, sir.
And you talked about knowing Leilani Simon. Do you know Daniel Youngkin?
No, I do not.
Have you ever hung out with Leilani Simon socially?
No, I have not.
Now, it's now October 2024. And the events that are, important to hear are October 2022. How clearly do you remember what happened back in October 2022 in your life?
Clearly, as in, what do you mean?
Well, who you saw, where you went, dates and times and things like that.
I am not that good with dates and times,
I'm not either.
but events, certain events, just like anybody else, certain events stand out. Considering the fact that I had to send her text message after text message because the gas can was that of my property managers, and I didn't want to get in trouble. That is going to be something that I remember.
I think those are all the questions I have. Thank you.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you may step down and you are excused.